Hello, I'm Ellen Goldberg, and I welcome you to this tarot moment from the School of Oracles. In this segment, we're going to look at the sevens of the four suits of the Minor Arcana. The sevens belong to Netzach, the sphere that is the lowest Sephira on the pillar, the masculine pillar, on the right-hand pillar on the tree of life. This means we're coming very close to manifestation. The sevens, the eights, the nines all become less stable, especially the sevens and the eights, because we're way down low, far from the high spiritual qualities of, say, some of those upper cards. Not only that, Sephira number 7 is ruled by Venus, and it's the desire nature, and these cards will show something about how we desire, what we want, and how we use the energy of that force. The first that we look at, the Seven of Wands, is called the Lord of Valor. Its astrological attribution is Mars and Leo. Now this is energy, a fiery planet in a fiery noble sign, and there is courage here. The Lord of Valor. Valor is an old word, really having to do with deeds of the heart, courage of the heart. But he is on a slippery slope. Notice that there's something unusual about this card because he is the only person in the entire deck who is wearing 2 different shoes. How would you feel on such a rocky slope, one that even may be marshy and have some watery, spongy ground, and holding off 6 others? You can't do this alone. This is about harnessing the will, not my will but thine, he is saying. This is letting the higher self or the divine fight your battles for you. How else can you knock out 6 to 1? Although it may be that he's not fighting here so much as being vigilant, and one interpretation of this card is that he is holding down the lower desire nature through his vigilance, because this is a Sephira that deals with desire. 7 is a number of victory, and the name Netzach means victory and eternity. And the vigilance to hold down the lower forces within the self is one of the greatest victories we can have. On the higher polarity, this fight is yours to win. You are harnessing the higher forces, and you are holding them off and doing very well. On the lower polarity, that slippery slope is getting to you, and maybe you're not doing very well at all, and the lower force comes and overwhelms you. The next card we look at is the Seven of Cups. Very interesting card. It's called Illusionary Success, and its astrological attribution is Venus in the sign of Scorpio. Venus does not do very well in a sign that's ruled by Mars, and Pluto co-ruled since Pluto was discovered. But Venus in Scorpio, the desire nature is strong. Look at this person in this card. He sees so many things. What does he want? Will this make him happy? Will that make him happy? And yet, success is illusionary. There is no pinnacle of success. In fact, the word climax actually means ladder. It's just a succession of experiences. To think that one thing and the attaining of it will do is actually an illusion. And yet, on the higher polarity, there are so many things that one wants. The desire nature calls to you. Even on the higher polarity, there are so many things to determine what would really make one happy. On the lower polarity, it's more like quicksand and you're being dragged under. There's seduction, there's desire and addiction of all kinds. Then it's going for things that you think that might make you happy that are actually really harmful. The Seven of Swords is called the Lord of Unstable Effort, and its astrological attribution is the moon in Aquarius. The moon is a feelingful planet. It represents our emotions and our unconscious. And Aquarius, though a wonderful sign, is not really suited for the moon because it's intellectual. So here there's something wrong with the feelingful nature, and perhaps the mind is overcoming the feelings in what is really right for the person. We see someone perhaps sneaking away. If you look carefully in the background, you'll see that all the other people, really indicated very lightly in the back, are having a meeting, and while no one is noticing, someone is slipping away with many of the swords. Here the efforts are not stable. Perhaps there's going to be problems due to this instability. There's wavering, uncommitment. Maybe there's a cold, feelingful nature. Maybe someone is using the mind, because the swords are the mental suit, to self-justify their behavior in their own way. On the lower polarity, it gets much worse. Then it is cunning and devious behavior designed to harm other people. Disaster through ambivalence. No good is going to come of it. And if you know someone and you're asking about something and you see this card, ill-dignified, watch out, because something underhanded may be going on. And the Seven of Pentacles, the Lord of unfulfilled success. This card is Saturn in Taurus. How heavy that is, a heavy sign in fixed earth. And the person is looking and not really seeing the beauty of what has been attained. Maybe they're not seeing the forest for the trees, or seeing that the growth is so fulfilling, because the person looks disappointed, unfulfilled success. And yet, on the higher polarity, they may be doing much better than they know, and they need to reassess their value system. On the lower polarity, the hopes are deceived and crushed. There is disaster, and whatever they're hoping for is not going to turn out well.